Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Saturday night's main event. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Saturday night's main event, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So yeah, I was looking forward to this. Not to say that the build was overall good, but I just really feel like WWE does have a plan in some way, shape, or forms. And now, does the Rumble kind of feel like an afterthought in some ways? Sure, but I do feel like they really use this as a real stepping stone, not just for the Royal Rumble, but for the road to WrestleMania overall. I was actually talking with a friend throughout the show, and I was like, the first part of this should have been just called Saturday Night Angles, because that's what it truly was. I wasn't complaining about it. I thought it was really good. I thought they were all very necessary. I think every single segment, for the most part of the show, really stood out on its own. We had some great matches. I mean, it's only January, but I think we can all say Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles has a contender for match of the year already here in January. Easily best match of the month. So far, we could definitely say that, but later on down, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, just everything about this show to me overall really worked. Now, there is one thing that I do have a controversial opinion on, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But again, overall, it's one of the better Saturday Night's main events. Is this the best one to me? No. I would still say maybe the John Cena farewell match show was probably my favorite overall, but this one is right up there with it. Again, everything really stood out. I really felt like, okay, we know what we're going with this. And I like some of the risk and the angles that they did on the show, because Saturday Night's main event is not necessarily a PLE, but it's not necessarily a weekly television show, so you can really blend the two. You get actually treat it like a third weekly show if you really want to consider it. It's just something that you're building up towards. But yeah, I mean, kicking off with the match that wasn't really a match at all. Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. That's my dog drinking water. I don't know if y'all can hear that. He got really thirsty. But yeah, the match that wasn't really a match. Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. Jacob comes out, doesn't have a shirt on. I think this is his first time that he hasn't done that. Like the look. I think he looks really good with how he is. Again, I'm not sure if this is the first time he's done that. I'll need to go back and re-look at some of his old matches, but I'm pretty sure he at least had a shirt on or an undershirt in some way, shape, or form while he was wrestling. So you correct me if I'm wrong there. Cody comes out during the second row. Jacob's like, nah, I'm just going to fight you. They start fighting. Cody's in the jacket. They're brawling. Charles Robinson takes a bump. And again, I guess that was just indication like, okay, yeah, no, this match isn't going to happen. Here comes the security. And then just an ongoing funny bits that were happening with the security started happening. One, the Jacob moonsault that I'm pretty sure he was meant to land on Cody, but he just didn't land on that top rope that he would have liked to do. Still an awesome spot. Yeah, he missed Cody completely, but Cody falling anyway. I don't care. I absolutely loved it. They're brawling through the crowd, beating each other up. They're going into the arena itself overall. Cody is beating up all the security people with trash cans. And again, this just became an ongoing bit. Security members were just falling like flies throughout. Whether it be Cody beating them with trash cans, Jacob throwing them through tables, or while they were trying to get to each other, they're beating up the security guards. I think this whole entire brawl lasted about 20 minutes, which would have been the length of a match. And, after, Cody, was it popcorn? They threw on those concession people were having the time. They had no idea what they were getting themselves into. Yeah, I guess I'll work this wrestling event. I need the money. And, I just serve some popcorn. It was probably some kind of high school school that was getting some donations for it and all that. And when Cody popped that, they went, oh! seeing the look on their face really, really, really made me happy. If I can find a picture of it, maybe I'll put it on here, or maybe I won't. But yeah, it all leads up to Drew McIntyre coming in, throwing Jacob through a table, and then power bombing Cody either through a table or onto the concrete. And we heard the rumor that apparently we might do the triple threat at WrestleMania. I'm all for it now. At first, I was like, I don't know if that's necessarily a Mania match, but if the WWE title is not going to main event overall, then I'm down for the risk. Now, with that kind of angle and that kind of heat, yeah, I do think it could main event in a lot of ways. And why not? Let's take some risk here. Let's really establish some things. And say, hey, if we keep sticking to the norm, we are going to get burnt out as fans. And this triple threat, again, with this much needed heat, not just for Jacob, because we already knew Jacob was a sociopath. Cody has a little bit of edge to him too, you know, like he was really laying it in. Again, he was willing to beat up security guards. And of course, Drew coming in, to me, it was a really good piece of business. And why I prefer this angle over them actually having a match is that you already knew what the finish was. If you would have do the actual match, it would have ended the exact same way that, you know, Cody versus Obafemi would have ended, where it would have been a DQ finish because they keep beating each other out, or a double count out, or Drew coming in just to, you know, cause mayhem. And, you know, we've seen that so many times. So what is the good, you know, substitute for that? It's this. Okay, we don't want either one of them to lose. We're not going to have the proper one-on-one yet. So let's just have them brawl throughout. That could really make it stand out on the card. And it did. And it did so very well. So overall, this segment, this piece of business, I thought was really, really good. It was great for a Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, if we were to do this on the Royal Rumble or a Payback or a Backlash, then maybe I'm singing a different tune because those are proper PLEs. No disrespect to Saturday Night's Main Event. But with what Saturday Night's Main Event is, I have no problems with what they did here. Now for what I am not as much hyped with as everyone else, because everyone else seemed to really enjoy this match, and more power to you. I am very happy that you did. But yeah, the Judgment Day versus Team Rio for the tag team title match didn't really connect with me that much. Now, you know, I already know Liv and Io are always going to be very stiff with each other, but I don't know. I just saw, I mean, sloppiness is like it's a horrible term, but that's the only word that I can really think of to describe it. Now, usually I'm a fan of that. I generally am. Usually, you know, the sloppier the better. Pause, right? But you know, sloppier the better it is for me, because, you know, that makes the fight feel more real. You know, like, I don't need it to be completely choreographed. I don't need to look pretty. I don't need like all these great visuals that they are doing. No, like, man, get a little dirty with it, punch each other, rough each other up. Ooh, that didn't look right. You know, some of those types of things. But for one reason or another, it just didn't work for me, and I can't really fully explain it, because I was enjoying the beginning portion. It was somewhere in the middle, and then of course the mess up that did happen later on, which again, you know, things happen. But, you know, clearly Rhea was supposed to break up the Pop Rocks on Io Sky, right? Roxanne hits the Pop Rocks, 1, 2. You even see the ref stop counting because the finish is not supposed to be here. But Rhea mistimed it, right? And I'm sure no one is harder on her about that than Rhea Ripley herself. Like, damn, I missed that timing portion. But after that, it kind of got washed over the rug for me a little bit, because I really did think the false count spot really worked. You know, Io goes up. Rhea, I think she hits a riptide on Roxanne. Io goes up, hits the moonsault. Rhea's playing defense. I haven't seen anything like this, so, you know, it was really fresh to me. Raquel pops up from literally out of nowhere. I don't know where she came from. I don't know if she was been under the ring the whole entire time. Pulls Rhea out, but while Rhea falls, the referee collapses. And then, you know, all hell breaks loose. And I'm thinking, where's La Prima at? I think I said that right. Priema. Yeah, that's it. Where's she at? And then here comes Stephanie. They brawl out. They go over. We can continue that program later on. Maybe we get on Monday Night Raw. She did not have that boot on, so maybe she's finally really good to go. Really good piece of business there too. And then Liv Morgan is actually the one who's getting the 1, 2, 3. And, you know, I heard some other people talk about it, and now I'm probably going to jump on the hype train, because at first I was Team Bianca Belair to win the Royal Rumble. I hope she is back by then. I am pretty sure she's going to be back by then, because she has been very quiet recently. Now, if she isn't cleared yet, then, you know, obviously, you know, continue to get that healed up. But boy, does that SmackDown division really need her. So hopefully she is back very soon. But if Bianca's to come back and win it, wouldn't that be the exact same thing that we did with Charlotte last year? And, you know, Liv Morgan taking the 1, 2, 3, recently coming back. And, you know, you have the Raquel, you have the Roxanne dynamic on it. Who's to say we don't do a fatal 4-way in some way, shape, or form at WrestleMania? Or maybe a triple threat between Raquel, Liv, and Stephanie, right? And, you know, granted, is that kind of rehashing with what we did with the World title last year? Sure. But Liv wins the Rumble, then, you know, Raquel beats Stephanie for the title, then that's them 2. Stephanie gets back in with the rematch, that's 3. And then you just got to figure out how to throw Roxanne in there, because the Judgment Day are going to implode by WrestleMania, but by God, I hope they implode by WrestleMania. That you got this fatal four-way where, these three sisters, if you will, are now broken up. They're fighting each other, and Stephanie's the odd one out. I think there's some good story beats that we can do with that. And I don't know what it was, but something about Liv Morgan taking the pin has me thinking maybe that's the direction that we're going with, especially since we are making sure that Raquel is really involved within this tag team title match. Raquel is going off on them for missing their assignments that they, when she needs help, saying, don't help me. Again, I just think there's a lot of things happening throughout these weeks that I am very, very interested about. But yeah, again, overall, the match was fine, right? It was good. I just didn't love it as much as other people. A lot of people that was a great tag team title match. Again, I didn't necessarily see that, but that is probably because the tag team title scene for the women has now gotten up so high that now I am kind of looking at a different lens, which, is it fair? I don't know. But yeah, I like the business that we did that prolongs things. Again, my mind's really going about things. Maybe I'm overbooking it, but the angles I really liked. The match overall, it was just fine to me for the most part. Now, a match that I am, along with everyone else, with is Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. We talked about it at the top, very consideration for maybe a match of the year contender, definitely a best match of the month type of a feel with it. I mean, they really went back to the Japan style. It was a little strong, so they were really laying it in with each other. Love the callback to the New Japan spot where, he shoots the bullet, but, in Japan, Shinsuke grabbed the bullet and threw it away, and it was this really badass moment. It was, if you didn't know, or if you weren't into it, you're probably thinking that's so cringy, and you're probably thinking the same way here too, because instead of taking the bullet, he grabs it and he puts it into his heart. Oh man, I don't know, it just did things to me, and the crowd didn't react to it at all, which really upsetted me, especially when Shinsuke was doing his whole shit. My friend was even texting me going we haven't seen this Shinsuke in quite some time. And I do fully agree. I was yeah, we haven't seen him lock in like this in a while. And, he was really bringing it. There was that one stiff spot. I don't know if it was planned to be that stiff or, the timing was off. But, AJ kneed Shinsuke right at the bottom of the chair. I was oh! A lot of people were God damn. I even saw some people do some edits with the Mortal Kombat fatalities with it. Again, it was a really, really stiff spot. But, the whole match was like that, too. It was very slow pace. I think it took 15 minutes into the match until the very first pin, which I absolutely loved. I hate, how people go for consecutive pins all the way through. And the fact that they took their sweet time, that, each competitor knew each other so well, okay, I know that's not going to bring him down. I know that's not going to bring him down. And, they wait for a certain spot to go, okay, now here's where I think we'll get the win. 1, 2. I don't think there was not that there's hardly any kick out at once, but, every two, I understood why they took a pin every once in a while. Now, did I ever think Shinsuke Nakamura was going to be AJ Styles? No. But I am glad how much we protected Shinsuke, even though, not to be disrespectful to him, but he probably doesn't necessarily need it. But, it took the phenomenal forearm, which we haven't seen in quite some time, and then a Styles clash to end it, 1, 2, 3. I am now in full believing that he is ending his career on Saturday. I heard Shinsuke posted that apparently confirmed that. I'm not going to look it up because then I don't want the whole magic to go away, because I want that 1% in me during the Rumble to be come on, AJ, come on, AJ. I have heard he said that, but unless I see it, then I can't believe it, right? So I am not going to look that up. I'm just going to be okay, people are just spinning the internet, AI, if you will. I am going to live in this world where there is a 1% chance that AJ Styles could beat Gunther. And I'm just going to let the ride go along with me when we get to it. But, this is the second to last match. What a way to go out. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very emotional day come next Saturday. I can't believe we're probably going to be saying goodbye next week after only a month away after John Cena retired. And Gunther will now claim 3 souls or 3 careers, if you will, in the span of that time, which is going to continue to elevate him all the way through. Then our main event, the Fatal 4-Way. Good stuff overall for the number 1 contender. Now, was the finish very obvious? Did we all know Sami Zayn was going to pinch Damian Priest to end it all? Yeah, but I think there was a lot of very good sequences throughout. There was just one really false finish that involved all 4 men that I really liked, because Trick Williams, the whole entire match through, I wasn't a huge fan of what he did in the beginning, when, you know, everyone was singing ole, 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 and like everyone was just standing there, and then he just left the ring. I don't know why he doesn't just attack Sami Zayn. Now, overall, it worked. The crowd followed along to it. He left the ring, and the crowd went, oh, what the hell, boo. And he's going, no, we're going to do this on my time. That one, like, sure, that last portion I got too, but I feel like, you know, if you really want to get more heat on you, you would have just attacked Sami Zayn from the back to, like, you know, unceremoniously end the Olay chants. But either way, it works. So what more do I know? But again, I would like that other choice a little bit. But, you know, throughout the whole entire match, he was trying to do WWE's favorite finish. And with that, it kind of worked every single time. Someone would hit a big move. Someone would be on the ground. Here comes Trick Williams to throw him out. And my favorite one was the one where Randy hit the RKO on Sami Zayn. It was later on. It was like kind of like when we were wrapping the whole thing up too. Like it was the beginning of the wrap up. Randy Orton hits an RKO on Sami Zayn. Trick Williams comes in, throws Randy Orton out of the ring. Goes to pin him, 1, 2. Then Damian Priest comes in and breaks up the pin. I was like, that was a great sequence that involved all 4 men. Again, it was a really, really good spot. Then, you know, some other things happened throughout later on. Then the final sequence, and was so good how to protect Damian Priest. I was like, man, no one can really take the pin here, because it looks like we're trying to reheat Damian Priest, but if anyone's going to take the pin, it's going to be Damian, because Trick Williams just got called up, so he can't be eating 1, 2, 3s just yet. Randy Orton is, you know, Randy Orton, so he's not going to take the pin. Sami Zayn is clearly going to win because the Rumble's in Saudi Arabia. So what do? Okay, we're going to make it seem like, oh, he just got the better of Damian for 3 seconds because he's battling with Trick Williams on the outside. He throws him out of the ring. Then as soon as Damian turns around, boom, haluva kick. 1, 2, 3. Really, really did like that. That was a really creative finish. I would have never thought of that. Again, I just thought it was very creative. It was very smart. It was a good way to protect Damian. Yes, he ate the 1, 2, 3, but he got hit from out of nowhere. So what was he made to do? So again, overall, this Saturday Night's Main Event was really good. It was a really good show. I really feel like it helped progress into the future of what we are doing within the card. And again, just a lot of things. I think when it comes to WrestleMania, there is a lot of mystery, but you know, there is also some things that feel to be clearer. Like I do think we are going to do the triple threat now. What is Randy Orton to do at WrestleMania? I don't know. Do we do Trick versus Damian again? Well, we already got it on SmackDown, so can we really go back to that? What's Damian supposed to do if that's not the case as a Randy Orton versus Trick Williams at WrestleMania? Sami Zayn's clearly not going to win the title at the Royal Rumble, so what's he meant to do? Sure, you know, that Fatal 4-Way kind of left some things open, even though some paths seem to be clearer. Again, the women's portion, I think, is starting to become more clear. But yeah, again, overall, to me, this show was a very good piece of business. And I'm really looking forward to Raw. And I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. And then, I'm also really looking forward to the road to WrestleMania to see where this road is going to. Those are my thoughts on Saturday Night's Main Event. Leave a like if you made this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it because this was a long one today. I didn't think it would be. Leave a like or do that. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Saturday Night's Main Event and hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you. Also, squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.